So when we talk about energy efficiency, naging issue siya ngayon sa contemporary practice of architecture because of sustainability. Even before naman, energy efficiency is being considered, but it has gone into the spotlight, went into the spotlight simply because of the sustainability of energy and, of course, our environment. There was a call para maging mas maayos yung paggamit ng ating energy. It is practically just improving the performance of the building in relation to how it responds to its occupants and users. So yung energy efficiency has little to do with the users, pero of course, it plays a part yung mga user. In essence, this is performance lang muna nung building. Kasi ang building natin, masyadong malaki yung ginagamit niya na energy. Much of it has something to do with heating or cooling a building. In our case, sa Pilipinas, it's cooling it. Now, sa ibang bansa, of course, meron silang heating. So sa Pilipinas, cooling lang yung ating energy. Umaabot siya from 50 to 60 and even sometimes 70%. But the trend has already changed. Kung mapapansin nyo, as I mentioned on our previous discussion, yung mga mall ngayon, saka yung mga buildings ngayon, are already using natural ventilation. Meron kayo makikita sa district, even yung sa MOA, karamihan ng hallway nila ngayon are open air. With proper orientation, meron siyang cross ventilation. You would notice yung hallway ng SM, some of it has already been designed in such a way that the wind can pass through it. Pwede siyang dumaan sa gitna, from east to west. Nakikita mo yung orientation ng MOA. Even yung orientation natin ng district IMUS, kung titingnan nyo siya, you would notice na most of it, yung kanyang space is now naturally ventilated. Napansin kasi ng SM before, na yung kanyang cooling masyadong mataas. Simply because yung mga tenants, binubuksan na lang nila yung kanilang pintuan para pumasok yung lamig na nanggagaling sa hallway. You would understand this kung na-discuss sa inyong sa previous building tech na yung air conditioning natin meron niyang positive pressure. Yung positive pressure niyan is ibinubuga siya papunta dun sa hallway. Siyempre, walang pupuntahan yan kundi papasok doon sa mga tenants kung sakali siyang malakas. So it is a positive pressure. So ngayon, papasok ngayon siya sa mga tenants. So ngayon, lumalabig na sila without cooling themselves. So nakakatipid ngayon yung mga tenants. So nakahalata si SM. So naging trends ngayon na yung hallway is already naturally ventilated and bawat isang tenants ngayon will cool their own spaces, retail spaces. The good thing about it is yung cooling requirements ngayon ng some of the public spaces has gone down kasi because of natural ventilation. Kung yung outlet mall, kung nagpunta na kayo sa Silang, ganun din siya. You would notice yung mga hallways niya all are open. Except yung mga retail units niya, yun, air-conditioned na. Actually, may iba nga, wala pa rin air-conditioning, naka-open lang eh. But of course, it's not comfortable. Especially pagka summer, syempre mainit. So, the reason why energy efficiency is because masyadong malaki ang ginagamit na energy natin sa building. Now, kung titingnan nyo yung green gas emission natin, yung sa ozone layer, yung ating greenhouse effect, most of it has nothing to do with the others na binabanggit nila about the pollution. Actually, kasama siya. Pero karamihan actually is nanggagaling sa construction, sa use of the building, and even for the manufacture of the raw materials to build a building. Masyadong malaki ang carbon footprints ng bawat isang building. You've heard about net zero building. Ibig sabihin lang nun, yung kanyang ginagamit at ginamit is zero from what it actually saved. Kasi bawat materials natin, kung yan ay in-order mo pa sa ibang bansa para makarating sa'yo, malaki yung sustainability effect niyan. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya sustainable. Masyadong may raming CO2 siyang ginastos. Yung ginamit ng jet, ginamit ng truck, ginamit ng van para i-deliver siya on-site, masyadong malaki yung CO2. Now, kung yan ibibili mo lang sa kapitbahay or meron kang recycled na concrete na ginamit mo na lang within your building or gumamit kayong natural materials within the vicinity, hindi ka na umorder ng product from other country or landscape from other country, then what happens is less yung iyong CO2 emission. So makikita natin sa mga product na ginagamit natin, how much ang ginagamit natin in order to buy that. So merong sustainability rating. So if you're going for Verde, LEED, BREEAM, those are metrics lang na mini-measure, marami ka bang nasaktan sa nature in order for you to build your building. Nasira mo ba yung environment mo when you constructed your building? So energy efficiency is not only the use, but also the construction and continued operation of the building. Dapat kinukonsider natin siya. So sinasabi dito, building efficiency must be considered as improving the performance of a complex system. Dito magkakasama, whether you talk about structure, you talk about sanitary, or you talk about energy, these are instances na or systems within the building that allows us to use our energy wisely. Kung titingnan mo dito sa, I think share ko naman itong slide na to sa inyong module. Mapapansin nyo dito, this is 2018 pa ha. But this has been consistent throughout the year. You would notice from 2009 to 2018, you would notice there was a growth here and then decrease. Now, you would notice that HVAC or heating, ventilating, and air conditioning is about 56. That's about 50 to 60%. Depende kung nasaan kayong location. Kung mas mainit yung lugar nyo, of course, if you're in Tagaytay, you have less cooling. If you're somewhere in Metro Manila or somewhere na medyo mainit, then you have high cooling. So, lighting. Okay, again, depende rin yan sa location mo kung meron kang presence ng natural lighting or wala. If your operation is 24 hours or just 8 hours. In fact, meron kaming dinesign na isang lobby na office. We considered yung amount of light coming into the lobby. Na pagka sa umaga, masyadong marami naman siya, yung light namin is dim. Tapos, during the day, nag-go off siya kasi masyado na maliwanag. As it approaches 5 o'clock, humihina siya. Meron siyang sensor. Meron siyang system or lighting system that allows it to adjust based on the lighting level. That's one way some companies or some buildings are being energy efficient. Kasi over the course of the day, they are reducing their power consumption based on the actual need. That's why sa air conditioning, even though architect tayo, syempre isipin mo pa rin, itong air conditioning ba na ba to kailangan dun sa location na yon 24 hours a day or 8 hours a day. Baka naman walang gumagamit siya doon over a given time. So, pwede mo siyang i-off dapat. That's why meron tayong compartmentalization. Yung air conditioning na to, ito lang area na to. Itong air conditioning na to, ito na lang. Hindi pwedeng isa lang lagi. Tapos, it will cool everything. Huwag naman. Kasi meron mga certain areas na hindi mo naman kailangan palamigin. Ngayon, yung capacity mo is nandun, pero hindi mo naman siya ginagamit lahat. So parang meron kang sports car, pinapatakbo mo lang siya ng 20 kilometers per hour. Sayang. Dapat pakinabangan mo in full yung air conditioning na ginagamit natin. So of course, may equipment, mayroong mga pump, meron tayong pump sa water, meron tayong pump para dun sa extraction ng hot air, meron tayong vent sa ating toilet. So there are certain equipments also that contributes to that. So depending on the type of system that you're running or the one that you decide, it will dictate whether your system is efficient or not efficient. Now, when you talk about the renewable energy, sustainable energy, meron tayong mga buildings ngayon na either off-grid, ibig sabihin hindi siya kasama dun sa kuryente ng community, or on-grid, ibig sabihin nun kasama siya dun sa energy ng community. Now, merong mga building na merong solar panel, meron siyang wind turbine, may yung iba nga sa ibang location na meron siyang steam or geothermal energy, especially in Japan, marami sila nun. Pero nakadikit pa rin sila sa grid. Kasi minsan kulang yung energy na ginagastos nila doon sa binibigay ng solar at saka sa wind. Unfortunately, yung wind, hindi laging malakas yung hangin. Sa Pilipinas, wind is not very popular. Kasi, it's not that hindi siya kapaki-pakinabang. Masyado lang malaki yung cost niya, capital expense, with its benefits. Kasi hindi tayo masyadong mahangin na lugar. We have typhoons, meron tayong mga strong winds, 240 to 60 kilometers per hour, pero hindi lagi. At normally, pagka ganun kabilis na, yung wind naman, nilalak yan. Hindi siya ginagamit kasi masisira din lang yung motor. So, hindi natin siya masyadong ma-utilize sa Pilipinas kasi yung wind profile natin, wind energy profile natin is actually lower than other countries. Ang popular sa atin is solar. Unfortunately, based on studies, solar energy is only effective at least 5 hours a day. On an average. Okay, mayroong mga araw na mapapakinabangan mo siya ng 6 hours or 8 hours. Pero mayroong ibang araw naman 3 hours mo lang siya magamit or 2 hours. So, hindi siya efficient the rest of the day. So, ngayon, minsan kulang siya. So, that's why yung iba nasa grid pa rin. Ibig sabihin nun, na pagka hindi na kaya siya, wala nang gabi na, wala siyang battery, especially pag wala kang battery. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi mo ini-store yung nakukuha mo ng energy. So, may mga building ngayon na meron siyang solar and they save it on a battery. And then they use it. Now, yung iba naman, ginagamit nila immediately after it is harvested. Wala silang battery. They don't store it. So ngayon, pagdating ng gabi na wala ng solar energy, kumukuha sila sa grid. Ang kagandahan naman nun kasi is because sa gabi, yung energy cost for commercial is less. So, doon naman sila bumabawi. So, merong mga systems ngayon na is important for us to understand ano yung direction mo. Are you off-grid or on-grid? Yung iba naman na nag-go off-grid 100% kasi minsan wala silang choice. Wala pang kuryente na pumupunta sa lugar nila. So, they will have to rely on solar energy or even generators. So, there are situations where our buildings, we will have to decide, okay, wala tayong kuryente dito, solar lang gamit natin. So, pipili tayo ng system na konti lang yung air conditioning nating requirements. Or itong lugar natin, konti yung tubig natin na tumadaloy. So, i-adjust mo yung system mo na mas marami kang tank. Malaki yung tank mo. Meron kang rainwater collection, tapos meron kang recycling ng water na yon, water treatment. So, you would notice the energy efficiency of the building depends upon the design of the building. Gagawin mo yung design based dun sa actual requirements. Kailangan ko bang i-recycle yung rainwater ko or not? Kasi baka naman kailangan hindi na. Kasi yung tubig ko naman kung na kailangan, I'm able to use it immediately. Pag umulan ngayon, the very next day, gamitin ko na siya. Meron akong maraming landscape so nagagamit ko siya kagad. Ako masyadong konti lang yung halaman ko. Tapos marami ako nakukolekta ng tubig. Now, anong gagawin ko doon sa tubig na yun? Pwede natin siyang i-treat. Pwede mo siyang i-treat. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng gamitin lang ang tubig minsan na ulan. Kasi meron na siya ngayong radioactive elements yung iba. Kasi the rain that comes to us doesn't necessarily come within the Philippines lang. Sometimes it comes on our neighboring countries. Tinatangay siya dito. Kaya nagrereklamo sila actually sa China kasi yung pollution na ginagawa ng China napupunta sa ibang bansa. That's why they are concerned about the pollution ngayon ng other country. Dati na walang problema yun Pero right now, the industrialization is so much. What happens on the next country affects the next country or yung neighboring countries. Tayo naman, we're surrounded by waters pero meron pa rin tayong close neighbors. So naka-apekto pa rin yun. So in our buildings, ganun din. What happens to us is directly what happens to our neighbor, to the building beside us and around us. And we design our building according to it. Kung nakadikit ka sa maraming building, then apektado yung ilaw mo, ventilation mo, cooling mo. Pag ikaw in an open field, okay, wala ka pang kapitbahay, then probably water is your problem, energy is your problem. So you design according to the condition of the building. And yung ating energy efficiency on our building system considers the overall situation. Kailangan ko ba ng dynamic facade? Baka naman hindi. Kung kailangan ko, dapat meron akong sensor. Dapat meron akong mechanical system. Meron akong BMS that controls all of it. Kasi kung aasa ka sa isang tao, baka tulog yung tao na mag-switch off ng ilaw. Medyo may kausap sa telepono yung tao mag-switch nung iyong dynamic facade. So sometimes it is important na you automate the process. So that's why energy efficiency is something that is critical for our building. Simply because it makes our building use yung consumption niya in terms of energy much less. Hopefully, you delve or research more on sustainable buildings. Pero we will try to tackle that this finals, some of it, sustainable architecture and sustainable materials. So, just to close yung discussion natin sa building envelope and energy efficiency, how we use the energy to operate the buildings affects the design. Like I mentioned, pag nagdi-design tayo, hindi lang natin iisipin yung construction. Hindi lang natin iisipin yung concept, yung ating contract documents, yung ating building permit, hanggang sa ma-construct siya. We look further away. We look at how it will be used and operated. And talking about energy efficiency is not only while it is concept, while it is constructing. You think about the entire life cycle of the building, from concept to operation hanggang demolition, and probably renovation or expansion. These are things that you consider when you design a building, when you think about the building system. You have to think about how to effectively use energy when doing this. If you don't think about that, you will have a problem. Kasi hindi na maging maganda yung design mo. Nagbi-breakdown yung elevator mo kasi kulang sa maintenance, walang energy, masyadong magastos, nagmamahal. Pag nagmahal kasi yung retail space mo, sometimes the tenant can pay. Sometimes the tenant transfer somewhere else. Pag hindi ka effective, ay mainit dito, hindi pupunta yung kliyente. Mahirap ang parking dito, hindi sila pupunta sa inyo. So, an effective design helps to make your building last longer, to make your building usable. Kasi pagka something's wrong with your design, it affects the operation. And when the operation is affected, the life cycle of the building is affected. Either it will be demolished, either it will be turned down, or it will no longer be used and it will, sit there not being used. Maraming building na ganun. Simply because it is not able to adjust. Yung energy efficiency niya was not considered during design, construction, and until operation. So, that is our discussion sa building envelope, energy efficiency. Just to summarize, how we use the energy on the building affects supposed to be our design. How the energy is used during operation should affect our design. And whenever na we're designing, dapat iniisip natin ahead of time, kailangan ko ba ng solar panel? Kailangan ko ba ng rainwater collection? Kailangan ko ba ng dimmable and controllable lights? Kailangan ko ba ng dual piping para sa aking sanitary? Kailangan ko ba ng natural air to lessen my air conditioning? You don't think of it when it's already finished. It's a lot easier to think of it during the design process. And sa design process, doon pa lang, iniisip mo na kagad, ano yung system na i-implement natin. And when you look at the building within its entire life cycle, that's when your design is the most effective. Any questions, guys? You can unmute if ever you have a question. Okay.